A wine and gold winner for your Cavs. Lima was there, and I want Lima to get things off his chest before I say something because I don't know how it's going to be taken. I don't know how you're going to take it. You were at the game. You had good seats. I don't know how long you sat in them, considering it was they were up by 32 at one point in the first half. So
roughly 10 minutes. We were in those seats for roughly 10 minutes.
So you started mingling?
Then it was mingling time.
He is such a social butterfly.
Well, I don't get the opportunity much.
Your time?
Yeah, I don't get the opportunity much. So once I'm out and the kids are asleep, so there's no reason to rush back home.
I bet you didn't eat anything, did you?
You know what? A little grazing was going on because in the particular club that we were in, they had a bunch of handhelds, things you could get to.
It's just I hate it when I'm out with you sometimes because you don't eat.
Yeah, it's tough.
And then I got to sit there and beg you like a great big fat pig.
But so this
I'm hungry. Come on, I'm going to sit down and eat.
This is one of the things, I said the same thing at the Cleveland Sports Awards. It's like you go to these things and they do such a great job providing food for you to stand and you're at a tabletop or whatever, and it's kind of an awkward way to mingle. Like you're sitting there shoving food in your face, and at the same time you have to put the food somewhere and you have a drink in your hand. And then you want to check your phone, and all these things are going.
You're in a social event.
Oh, it's you're
at a social event.
You're always referencing something like, oh, I want to show you this. Did you see this? So it's just kind of part of it's. I think the phone is just a normal extension of your hand these days.
I hate it. When we're out, actually, it's been a while since we were out and about last week or last month. Over at CSU. I tried to keep my phone in my pocket. Saw Jonathan Peterlin at CSU in that moment. Anyway, crowd was amazing. Everything was amazing, right?
Yeah, it was.
Because you got to say some nice things before I say something that people aren't going to like.
It was I don't know. What are you going to say that people are going to like? It was a total laugher last night.
No,
it was a pep rally
with James Harden, and you're going to say that?
That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm worried about. I'm trying not to be a stick in the mud jerk, all the other words that are said, because this is a weird week. This is a week where everybody gets accused of rage bait, and I'm like, no. Listen, if you think I'm stupid, that's fine, but I'm going to believe in what I'm saying if you're going to think I'm stupid. I'm not going to make things up and let you think I'm stupid. So if I'm stupid, then you think it honestly. All right, you ready for me to get this off my chest?
By all means.
You don't have anything else good to say about last night's performance?
It wasn't. It's not exactly a game.
It was a great performance.
They were up by 42 at one point.
It was such a good performance that who cares?
Okay, so I'm going to say it. I'm as disappointed as I've been. This is the most disappointed I've been in the entire new year. Because, and that's saying something considering like what we talk about most of the time. I'm disappointed because I'm not going to get any test on Sunday. I wanted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to play. I wanted this to be something where I sat down, 1 o'clock, it's time to go. Note time, taking notes at the desk time, the whole thing. And now it's like, well, there's no point. If he's not going to play on Sunday, then what's the point? I'll watch the game, clearly, but I already know, like, okay, if you go down to Oklahoma City and you roll the Thunder, I know we got a game tonight. We're actually having Eric Collins on from FanDuel TV Southeast, who is a Cleveland Heights native. Cleveland Heights, correct? Cleveland Heights.
I think so.
Okay, Cleveland Heights native. Oh, I didn't want to say Cleveland Heights. There's a difference. Cleveland Heights native, Eric Collins, and he'll be on the show coming up today at 9:20, and he's part of the Hornets TV crew. So, I mean, we'll preview that, even though there's no Diabate and there's no Miles Bridges for obvious reasons after that fight, and we'll probably have Eric's call coming up later on in the show. But I know we got this game on Sunday, and I've been looking forward to this thing since they traded for James Harden, going, okay, here we are. Like, this is going to be the last chance we get, because if it goes to where we believe this is going to go, this is a finals preview on Sunday. Well, it's not a finals preview because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will drag himself out there to try to play in the finals. And so if we go down there and we roll the Thunder on Sunday, it's not going to matter to a lot of people because he didn't play. If we go down there and get smoked, well, then you know what? People are going to take it and go, well, wait a minute. You got your guys. You got Evan back, even though I think he's on a minutes restriction. You got James Harden. You got Donovan Mitchell, and you guys still can't beat us without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, even without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, where's the win? Where, other than the win, where's the win? And it just, I haven't, and I wanted to look forward to this because I haven't had that feeling all year. I have not had that feeling all year of where like, all right, we have a finals preview against a team in the West. It's like, no, we'll see a team in the West, but we really got to worry about teams in the East. Now I'm ready to go. Guys, I'm serious. Like this,
I guess
might
the
be
real, you got the Knicks game next Tuesday. That's going to be a biggie at home.
I understand that, and you got the Boston Celtics coming up. But I
two with Detroit.
But I'm serious, guys. Maybe I'm just an excitable boy, and I'm putting carts before horses here. I was much more. I looked at those as other pieces. Like, I think you're going to go to the NBA Finals with this team, with James Harden, with Evan
you're penciling him now?
I'm penciling it in.
Wow.
So I want this to be. So maybe it's not such a disappointing thing after all, because I'm saying I think this is a Finals team, and I wanted this to be a Finals preview on Sunday.
It's so interesting because earlier in the year, I didn't think it was going on a limb saying we were the most disappointing team in basketball for a while when they were hovering around 500, 35 games into the season. I was like, man, they really feel like that. And then they started playing well. I mean, even before the trade, obviously, they started playing well. And we've gone from just assuming they were going to get bounced early to now Ken's just assuming they're going to the NBA Finals. Like, think about the highs and the lows of this season already for a team that, like, mostly throughout the year, Owen was like, wake me up when the playoffs start. And yet we're still having these wild, range of emotions when it comes to this team.
And that's what made, I got to wake up in the middle of the season where it just seemed like this was going to be a slog towards another disappointing end. And I was getting ready for, all right, when's the story going to happen? And when's Jason going to text us about Donovan's future in the middle of the playoffs? When are we going to hear about Darius Garland's future, if there is a future? Like, I was getting prepared for really bad news. And now I went from that 2 weeks ago to I'm penciling them in for the finals, and I'm just a little bit disappointed because I'm like, man, I really wanted to see a finals preview on Sunday, and I ain't going to get to see a finals preview on Sunday. And if we go ahead and we lose out there, like there's going to be some people who draw strong conclusions, and I'm going to get defensive about it. But if we win, and like say we win by 10 or 12 or whatever, if we win, it's just going to be like, yeah, well, SGA didn't play, so
do you ever
too bad.
watch? Is this a basketball thing? Did you ever watch like the Indians / Guardians? Like, hey, they got a big series coming up. They need to take 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3. Or when the Browns,
I think we do all the time.
The year that we went to the playoffs, that year, were you looking at inferior teams or a team that didn't have their starting quarterback, and were you like, who cares about this week? We're not really going to learn anything about our team. Well, or is that specific to the NBA?
No, I think we do that all the time. Owen, maybe you disagree or agree on this, but I can firmly recollect, and here we are testing each other's memories in the first segment again. We've been to the postseason with the Guardians for the majority of the last decade.
Yeah.
And, boy, I got to tell you, if I had a dime for every time a guy called in and goes, well, you lost to the Yankees, and this is why I can't take you seriously. You can beat up on the poop of Major League Baseball, but you can't beat the Yankees and the Red Sox and the et ceteras. That's a call that we've gotten many. Football's a little different. Football, a little different. But baseball and basketball, I think that those are one and the same. You go to the game, you go to almost every game, Owen. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're probably right. I mean, just because of the amount of times you play a team, it feels more like a playoff series. You can at least equate it to some sort of playoff series where you go, today wasn't our day, but we're going to get these next 2 or whatever.
See, when we had LeBron the second go around, you had 4 years, and we had these monumental regular season clashes with Golden State. A Christmas.
It was always Christmas.
It was
and
Christmas
MLK.
game, but you also knew that that's one game. That's way different from a series. And also, when we have LeBron in a series, that's also way different from anything that happens in a regular season.
But I'll tell you, this is and you're right, but this is where it messes with our emotions, is that Kyrie, you remember the shot he hit on Christmas where they came back and beat Golden State. And that was where I'm sitting at my father-in-law's house, where my father-in-law is a big Cavs fan, and he watches every single game with my mother-in-law. And it was like, all right, I'm telling you, we can get them again. We can do this again. Like, this is a thing. And you go back to the Knicks game on Christmas Day where they blew a 17-point lead, and you're going, this is why we can't take this team seriously. Like, it's not the right thing to do, more than likely, but we draw conclusions emotionally based on regular season. And let me make this clear. I am certainly not disappointed in the Cavs boat racing bad basketball teams. Not disappointed whatsoever.
Do a lot of this
and they're
going to
do a lot of that down the stretch. And I'm going to enjoy that happening. I'm just disappointed in Sunday because I really am. I'm penciling this team in for the finals. I think we're going to have a June.
I just can't. I think that's my takeaway from this opening segment. Is
Okay.
I didn't know Ken was this confident about the Cavs.
Well, should I not be this confident?
It only took 4 Harden games for him to going one of the big disappointments in the league to now. Oh, we're in the finals. It's that easy because it's not going to be that easy.
It's not going to be that easy. But have they? This is a team before this season that has played with their food, that has struggled. I mean, there's been times I've watched the Cavs and I'm like, I'll have these little mini meltdowns in like the third quarter. I'm like, guys, can we effing blow out anybody? Like, can we? I'm sitting in my office going, Judas Priest, It's 9:15. You're playing the so-and-sos. I just wanted to go to bed. We can't blow out an effing team this year. Like, you felt the same way?
Yeah, because it happened so frequently last season that when it wasn't happening this season, it really was like, oh, no.
But we are right back. Are we not? Do you feel, let me ask you this. Do you feel when we were full throttle Cavalanche every game in, game out, Ty Jerome, 30 points, Darius, Donovan, until Darius, started going through his struggles after February last year, we were annihilating the rest of the NBA.
Yes.
And we had a big win over Oklahoma City where it was like, all right, let's get ready. Clear your schedules in May and June. Do you feel even better, Ken Carman, right today? Because we were on cloud 9 last year. Are you on cloud 9 right now?
I am. I do. And that's why I'm so damn disappointed in Sunday. But you know what? You're right. I am penciling this team in. You could just tell it's better. They're more serious. They're taken more seriously already. And I know that we might be in a honeymoon phase. Whatever.
I mean, they won
if I eat these words, I eat these words.
Last year.
And there was a lot of people going, wake me up in the playoffs because of what had happened the year before, and even what had happened the year before that, especially what had happened the year before that. Because there's big bad Boston out there, or you'll still get shoved around by Mitchell Robinson, and that will still be a test coming up.
I'm still seeing a bunch of that.
I know. Well,
that's why I think Tuesday. You're worried about Sunday. I think Tuesday against the Knicks is going to be a pretty big game to see. Has Jared Allen and has Evan Mobley, are they going to rise to the occasion? Are the lights going to be too bright? I'm with you. That kind of sucks about Sunday. But Tuesday at home against the Knicks is still going to be that's a nationally televised game. I know people are like, where? Are they going to be on Peacock? Are they going to be on, CBS? Are they going to be on Home and Garden Network? Where are they going to be nationally televised? But I think Tuesday will make
not
up.
Even a channel anymore.
I think Bravo.
Home and Garden Network ain't a channel anymore? No, that
Spike
HGTV is
Spike
a channel
TV.
now.
They're on the Nashville network.
Man, I think TNN could work in this
Bring it
time
back.
of day.
It'll be
Come on.
more Crook and Chase.
Yeah,
Come on.
man. Dude, I remember I used to collect the paper route on a Saturday, and I remember there was this nice old lady, and she lived on Bailey Street, and I know we got to go, and she's been dead for many years. But, man, she used to invite me, and I would sit there, and I would sip. I tried tea for the first time in this old lady's house because we would sit there and watch the Grand Ole Opry.
And now you're drinking the James Harden tea.
Yep. It all comes full circle, my friend. It all comes full circle. Here I am, and I'm going, I'm putting the Cavs in the finals.
Yeah, that should have been the lead.
You exposed me.
You should have came out of the gates with that.
I didn't realize it, though. I did not realize it. I can't say something I don't yet realize, which is what you do to me. You put me in corners, but I'm like, I like this corner. We're good. If I'm that disappointed that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to play on Sunday, then what am I saying to everybody? Let's just say it with my chest. I'm putting the Cavs in the finals.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and is that premature? 216-474-0092.
So I do think the playoffs are going to be amazing. And for all the talk about how much tougher the Western Conference is and the Eastern Conference, and the Cavs are the one team that made the massive swing of all the East, with the East wide open, like we've talked about all year. The Cavs said, boom, we have to take advantage right now. And it's so funny that when we were mulling over the idea of James Harden, I'm like, man, I was just hoping we could get like Michael Porter Jr. Or we had talked about, potential other guys like Trey Murphy. And I was not, I'll admit, you can go back and go look at the videos. Go look at the clips that our fine young lad, Joey, puts up the video clips. And you can go back and look, and I'm like, are we sure we want to do James Harden? And then they make the move, and like a day later, I'm like, this is huge. Because I didn't think people, the one thing about Harden is I don't think people realize how much of a basketball genius he was. And you're seeing it game in and game out. But with all of that said, like all these teams in the East still do have flaws. Mm-hmm. And how hard do we think this is going to be when it comes to a journey? Because the rest of the rest of the season, they got 26 games left. And they have so many tanking teams that they're going to be playing. Last night was one of them. Even though, hey, Jordi Fernandez, former Cleveland resident, friend of Cookie Pies, he took a timeout like 20 seconds into the game.
We can't take advantage of it, so what's the point of even giving Cookie
Pie?
You know what?
Credit. Apparently 2 hours before tip last night, he was ready to pounce. Because magically, Cookie Pie was at the game with some near courtside tickets.
What a selfish bastard. Unbelievable.
He took his family.
It's always what we can do for him.
We'd only been asking him. We've only been hounding him for 3 weeks.
It's always what we can do for him. We're always on. It's amazing. I give you hell, but man, we are always on Cookie Pie time, man. It's always.
I hope he and the family enjoyed themselves.
Backwards for him. Good for Cookie Pie.
But all that is to say is, like last night, I wasn't paying attention, but Detroit beat the Knicks, and they were a one-man wrecking crew. It was Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
And he took like 35 shots. He scored a whole bunch of points. But they are very much so. They are shooting challenged. They do not have shooting, Detroit. So that's their fatal flaw. So the Knicks, I mean, you go through every team. The Knicks have this entire year, like if you can slow down, if Jalen Brunson has an off night, are they going to find enough scoring on that team? Obviously, Boston, they're just a completely new team once Jason Tatum comes back. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because they've been unbelievable this year. Mm-hmm. Is he going to disrupt the rhythm of Jaylen Brown? Philadelphia, is Joel Embiid even going to be able to play, 4 out of 7 games in a series?
Well, then I guess I got to be asking you, why aren't you joining me?
Well, I said they are the favorites to go to the. If I were to wager on any team in the East, I would wager. I just don't think it's going to be as easy. I don't think it's as easy as I think it's going to be brutally hard.
Well, they're not going to go
when they get into the playoffs.
They're not going to go. Is it 16-0 or 12-0? Which one? They're not.
16.
They're not going to go 16-0. They're not going to go 12-0 through the Eastern Conference. I don't think it's going to be that way. Like, yeah, I think there will be some tight moments here and there. I respect New York. I respect the Boston Celtics. The Pistons are a tough team. They're building the image of
they're just not playoff tested.
Yeah, but they're building the image of their history. And obviously the Isaiah Stewart incident that happened last week is at the forefront of my mind. But there seem to be a team that they ain't going to get pushed around by anybody.
In a series against Detroit, you will despise the Detroit Pistons by halftime of game one.
Yes.
There will be fights. There will be ejections in that series.
Yeah, it's going to get ugly. I think Jalen. I think Jalen Tyson's patience is going to get tested. He seems to run hot.
Tomlin will come in just to wreck shop.
I mean, Naquan Tomlin understands the assignment. I think that'll be a fun series. It's not going to be like it's 12-0, but I just see this team and I just take them seriously. More seriously than I think I ever have. And
well, I'm with you there.
I know, like we're Cavs fans. It's a Cavs show. It's a Cleveland show. But man, I just feel so much differently, more different about this group with James Harden. And it's not based on results. It's based on respect. It's based on the conversation that's around the team for the first time. And I can't remember when, because even on the buildup, on the way it was up there, it was this team that was, all right, we're plucky, but, we got to ascend. It's going to take a few years to break through this, that, and the other. And then it just got to the point where it's like these guys, when the lights come on, they're just too bright. Literally, that was said by Jared Allen, and I felt terrible about it. And it just seemed like this year was a formality until things went bad. And now you have this new lease on life. And maybe a couple of people who are big James Harden haters out there who maybe aren't Cavs fans are just laughing their asses off right now going, you just wait, Ken. But
I'm seeing it right now because like you just asked, hey, can you go on? Somebody asked you to go on Oklahoma City radio. over the weekend. And
I tried to pass it off to you. I have obligations.
We're going to start getting those calls.
And that's not because of what happened last summer.
Old
no.
Crow.
And I think some of the national people that have you on or have me on, they're going to say this, which is what somebody in Cleveland is saying. JC in Cleveland says, man, the finals is a tough call. Donovan has never been out of round 2. Harden, we know about his playoff resume. So what is your response going to be? What is my response going to be when that comes up? Like, wait, you're penciling in a team in the finals that can't get out of the second round?
I got a Knicks team that still seems to be a little bit stuck in the mud. I know that they've been better and you're taking on teams that are a little bit bad, but you have a Knicks team that still seems to be stuck in the mud where their own fans don't even like them. I have a Boston team where I don't know what Jason Tatum's status is going to be. He still seems to be very much on the fence as of last night about when his return and his runway for a return. I do not have Tyrese Halliburton. I have an untested young Detroit team. I stand by. It takes a couple of times to get in and break through because I thought we were able to do it so quickly because we had the greatest player of all time, arguably, and at least the icon of the generation. Well, I think that your runway through the East is easier than it's been over the last couple of years. And so now I look at the West. And by the way, I'm not saying they're going to win the NBA Finals. I take the West very seriously. Deathly seriously, I take the West. But I look at the rest of the East and I go, this is a finals team. This is the Cavaliers, with all the caveats that you always say, as long as they stay healthy, this, that, and the other. The Cavaliers are a playoff team. Or, excuse me, are a finals team. They're obviously a playoff team. The Cavaliers are a finals team. And as long as they stay healthy through the playoffs, because you always have to say that, yeah, I feel as confident as ever. I don't know if I'd pick them to win. I don't know if I'd pick them to win. That's why I'm so disappointed that I'm not going to see Oklahoma City at full strength on Sunday. Because
it's nice to have those litmus tests. Yeah.
Exactly. I could give you I don't mean to go in a circle with you from what we talked about at the beginning of the show, but I can try to draw an emotional conclusion, even though we know that in the playoffs is different. But I could try to draw some emotional conclusions on how things are going to be based on what I could see on Sunday. And I've been robbed of that. So I am disappointed in that. But I'm glad you hit it because I'm trying not to be a fuddy-duddy after blowing teams out and looking great, and avalanches and people with fake beards in the stands. I didn't want to be a fuddy-duddy, and you actually you saved me because I'm like, man, coming off being disappointed about Sunday after beating the brakes off of just about everybody you've had, boy, I hate to be that way. And then it's like, well, no, I just realized it. I'm picking them to go to the finals. Now, that might be pretty presumptuous to some people out there. Maybe they're glass half empty type of folks. But I'm dead serious. The runway already, I don't mean to overuse that term, Tone. The runway already seemed to be open, and that's probably why I was so damn upset with how things were going with the Cavs. Because it's like, you're not going to get this type of look ever again. The sea has parted for you to go through the East, and now you can't get out of your own way. You can't get out of the mud. And it seems that this move for James Harden has got us out of the mud. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played, but I just hear the conversation from elsewhere around this team, and it seems to be a seriousness of like, okay, I don't know right now I'd pick them to beat Oklahoma City or San Antonio maybe. But it's a finals team. And so there's going to be I think there's going to be some late nights for us in June.
Well, I just wonder.
I think there's going to be some 1-2 hour sleep coming in and doing the shows in the morning.
Because I talked to a ton of people yesterday at the Cavs game. I'm like, do you got your playoff tickets? And they're like, oh, we're in. We are in. Like, we are expecting to go on a deep run now. And it is a moment. I mean, I got that. These started as kind of joking texts. And then yesterday, they were kind of real. Like, you clearing your schedule in June? Like, are you doing it? And the way that we are talking right now, I think it's risen to that level where you almost have to. You now have to reasonably prepare for a very, very deep playoff run. Well, whether or not Donovan has been there in the past and whether James Harden has struggled in those game 6s, game 7s, whatever. Like, you're looking up at the East right now. You're saying it's parting. It really is. This is setting up for a team. And if you were to ask those Cavs players, I think, teams always will say, our goal is to win a championship, all that. I think now they really, really believe that they have what it takes to do it.